And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning, friends, traders. Welcome to the market forecast for Thursday, October 13th, 2022. I am JD, filling in once again for our good friend, Mr. Hoagland. As always, thank you for choosing to spend your time with us. Remember to hit that lucky like button. Feel free to share your comments, questions, feedback in the chat. We do appreciate and encourage all forms of feedback here. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get all those wonderful notifications when we go live. Our goal is always accurate context, sound risk management. Hopefully we can all walk away with a little more knowledge and understanding than before we started. So let's start with a little recap of yesterday. So markets kind of fell flat after the PPI report was released and the Fed minutes. PPI report wasn't all that great. We saw wholesale prices rise by 0.4% last month and 5.6% year over year. There was also a monthly increase in food prices of 1.2% and energy prices rose 0.7%. We're still at those 40-year highs as far as cost of living right now. It kind of felt like that information was already absorbed into the market since there really wasn't much of a reaction when those reports were released. So all eyes kind of turned to the CPI report this morning, and we see the markets moving right now. As far as that CPI report, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the consumer price index for the month increased by 0.4%, and on a 12-month basis, inflation was up 8.2%, just a little off its peak of around 9% back in June. Those stats came from CNBC just a few minutes ago. Core CPI accelerated by 0.6% against an estimate of 0.4%. And core inflation was up 6.6% from a year ago. It sort of begs the question, are these all these rate hikes doing what they're supposed to do or expected to do? And I've also been reading a lot of rumblings on Twitter the last just few minutes saying that it doesn't matter what the CPI report says. The Fed's just going to continue to raise rates anyway. So we'll see what happens there. Elsewhere on the economic calendar for today, we have EIA natural gas report at 9:30, petroleum status report at 10 o'clock. These are all Central Time. Raphael Bostic speaking at noon, 30-year bond auction at noon, Treasury statement at 1 o'clock, and Fed balance sheet at 3:30 p.m. Overnight, markets in Asia closed lower. Shanghai composite down 0.3%, Nikkei down 0.6%, and the Hang Seng down 1.87%. In Europe this morning, stocks are trading mostly lower, with the FTSE down 1.08%, the DAX down 0.17%, and the CAC down 1.68%. VIX had a little drop this morning, down about 1.5% to 33.03, and the yield on the 10-year Treasury note is back above 4%. We're at 4.03% currently right now. Stocks were a little higher starting the morning, and then as soon as that report came out, actually I was watching the thread at about 2 minutes before the report came out. The market started moving around. Ladder started clearing out, screens going blank, and then just straight down at 7:30 when that number was released. Let's take a look in the room real quick, see who's here. Everybody can hear me, right? I don't know if you were here for the recap yesterday, but I did an entire episode with my mic turned off, and I had to go back and repeat the entire process. It was pretty frustrating. But I hope everyone can hear me right now. So good morning, Caprice, first in the room. Joel, Tachyon, Charles, Jules, Bill Phillips, the Scarlet Arachnid, Sonny, Dan Trader, Jorge, Frederico, Dr. VJ, Caesar, Mike, Nasdaq, Serenity Trader, The Rooster, Brody, good morning to everybody. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Bear market's so much quicker than bull markets for profits. Very true. Jan, good morning. All good, yes. Oh, thanks everybody. Sarah Hall, good morning. Prayers, blessings, much love. Thank you, Sarah. Well, what do you say we just dive into these charts real quick? There's a lot of action happening right now. So here's our daily in the ES. Yesterday, pretty nothing day for stocks. You can see here. 6 lower closes in a row. The ES was held to just a 35 handle range during regular trading hours yesterday. These contract traded less than 2 million contracts, but gained a little more than 9,000 in open interest. So were some shorts going into this morning. ES went on to settle at 35.88 half yesterday, down just 11 points. In the last hour, we started to see some buying coming into the market pre-7:30, and then that CPI number was released, and here we are just tanking. We're below weekly kickoff low right now. Let's do a little close-up with our 4-hour chart. So we were in balance with the range for the week up until a few minutes ago. We saw a little buying going on this morning, like I said. Didn't look like anything to get excited about. And then rip and dip right as those inflation numbers are out. This market was just hibernating, waiting for some news to wake it up. We're back through the lower end of this balance area from last week. We finally took out last week's lows, trading below a weekly kickoff low right now. Here's our volume profile. Look at that. So we spent the entire day yesterday, including the overnight Globex session, trading inside value from Tuesday. Not much change overnight here either. We did put in a new low by a few ticks early on. Not early on, I guess. Not too long ago, actually. And then we finally took out all these lows from last week. Overnight inventory was long going into that number. We see this nice little steady move higher, and then just a total fade. Right now, I would say, if you weren't in on this move, don't try and catch it right now. Might be a little too early to fade, too. Catching that falling knife, usually you'll end up cutting yourself. So stay patient. We'll likely get some better trade opportunities in this market as the day goes on. Here's our daily in crude oil. We had 3 consecutive lower closes in crude. We have these 3 moving averages right here converging on each other. These are the 50, 20, and 10-day moving averages. Hang on a second. I never even queued up my charts, did I? There we go. That's what happens when I don't look at the chat. I'm going to rewind here a second. Back to daily in the ES. All right, here we are. Back on track. So I'll just repeat I'll just go straight to the 30-minute here. Repeat what I said. Spent the entire day, including the overnight Globex session, trading inside value from Tuesday. Same thing happened overnight last night. We did put in a new low by a few ticks back here at early this morning before moving back into value. We had a nice, solid little rally, taking out yesterday's highs right before that CPI number came out. Pardon me, right before that CPI number came out, and then things just tanked. Overnight inventory was a little long going into that number, and everyone just got flushed out. So, staying patient for now. If you weren't, like I said, if you weren't in on this one, no sense trying to catch the falling knife or jump on the short side right now. Wait for better trade locations on this one. You're going to get plenty of opportunity in this market today, I think. kick back over to our crude oil chart. So like I was saying, we now have 3 consecutive lower closes in crude, trading lower again this morning. We have these 3 moving averages converging on each other. This red line is a 50-day simple moving average. Blue line is a 20-day exponential moving average, and green is a 10-day exponential moving average. We did see a little buying step in right off our weekly kickoff low here at 86.50 yesterday and a little bit this morning. Volume was a little on the light side yesterday. That has a lot to do with the roll, though. Volume in all, the November contract traded about 332,000 contracts, lost 33,000 in open interest, and settled the day at 87.27, down $2.08. The December contract, on the other hand, traded 211,000 contracts, gained 6,500 in open interest, and settled at 86.06, down $1.91. So we are rolling to the D's contract on Monday in crude oil. Keep that in mind, and adjust your charts and other settings for Monday. Here's our 4-hour chart. This is our break yesterday and a test of our weekly kickoff low. After that, we had some consolidation overnight, going to the and then when that CPI number came out, we just tanked in crude oil too. Everything's pretty much down across the board. I mentioned yesterday that our weekly kickoff low lines up nicely with these highs back here from October 4th and September 21st. This area will be our sort of inflection point. We're there right now. Here's our 30-minute. Overall, we did get some decent movement in crude oil yesterday. We spent the bulk of yesterday's overnight session inside Tuesday's range, even testing the lower end of this gap up here before sort of falling out of bed after the PPI number was released yesterday morning. Overnight inventory was balanced, maybe a little long, going into the CPI release, and everything just got flushed out again. Prices, until then, prices that spend the night inside range and inside value from yesterday. We never really tested the lows overnight, which was something I was looking for in a trade setup today, but CPI kind of changed that thought process anyway. So here we are now back below weekly kickoff low, still moving lower. Solid selling pressure still coming into this market. Here is our daily in the Nasdaq. Again, yesterday was an inside day for stocks here. Not much to report there. Never tested either end of Tuesday's range, but volume was pretty decent for such a quiet day. In all, the December contract traded 731,000 contracts, lost about 5,200 in open interest, and settled the day at 10,840 half, down only about 4.5 points, basically unchanged on the day. Pretty much nothing day there. And now here we are. Volume starting to build, and we're trading below weekly kickoff low. Here's our 4-hour chart. Again, not a whole lot happening going into the number. Market was in balance, just waiting for a breakout, which the number provided. Let's just go right to the 30-minute. So I'm trying to just scale this out a little bit. Squeeze everything in there. Here we go. Pretty much same scenario as the ES again. Yesterday we spent the entire day, including overnight Globex session, trading inside Valley from Tuesday back here. Yesterday, not a whole lot going on. We traded both extremes of regular trading hours range in the first half hour of trading. Same with the ES before settling into this range for the rest of the day and staying in balance overnight. We had a little bit of long inventory going into the number, and all that just got flushed out. Here we are now, below weekly kickoff low, trading at 10,545. This market, again, was waiting on news. And like I said with the ES, stay patient with this market right now. You're going to get some trade opportunities. Don't try and fade too early. Don't try and don't shoot from the hip, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Be patient and wait for the right entry points. Here is our daily in gold. So after 5 consecutive down days, we got a little pop in gold yesterday, right here. Yesterday was an inside day. Prices never broke out of Tuesday's range, but higher close nonetheless. Volume was pretty weak. And right now, prices were trading in this little balance area from back in mid-September. We're still kind of there on the lower end of this balance range right now, but prices are still moving lower. Here's our 4-hour. Here we can see volume drying up sort of as the market was creeping lower and moving sideways all week. We're still trading right in line with these 2 previous areas of congestion here, going back to mid-September. And we're still inside the 1685 to 1660 range. We did break below that, but we're right back inside now. 1685 to 1660. I've been kind of talking about that range all week long. A lot of action been happening in this area the last couple of weeks. It's likely this is going to turn into a fairly significant inflection point moving forward. Like I said, we just traded through that area, back down to this low here, testing this low from late September at 1649, 1650 area. Just kissed it, and then right back inside this sort of balance area that we've been hovering around for over a month now. There's our 30-minute. So yesterday, prices never traded outside of Tuesday's value area during regular trading hours. Put in a low and a high during the overnight session that were never really tested during regular trading hours. Then we got this late spike here, some buying coming in. After that, prices kind of moved back into value and kind of held at yesterday's value area low. We did see some buyers step in overnight, and then that nice head fake right as CPI number came out. It was looking like there might have been a little short-term strength coming back into this market yesterday. I was less than impressed with the volume, though. There was really a lack of participation in this market for a while. But now we've got this nice volume spike here. There's some action happening in all these markets right now. Looking back on the daily chart here, though, just made a note of this. This downside structure is still intact. And we got a nice test of this 20-day moving average before the market broke. That would have been an excellent low-risk area to get short. Missed that trade this morning, though, unfortunately. But like I said, downside structure is still intact in the gold market right now also. We're getting action all over the place this morning. I want to get in here and get set up for the 8:30 open. Let me check back in the chat one more time. Jerry's a quick. My dome won't show blocks anymore. Just current price. Any ideas? Same for me. What platform are you guys using? Are you using Tradeovate? I would suggest contact our support team. I'm not looking at the dome in Tradeovate right now. If there's an issue going on, then I'm sure they have a bunch of outstanding tickets right now answering the same question. Shoot them a quick email, and someone will get back to you pretty quick. Our support team is pretty awesome. So, let me switch back over here. I'm not sure what you mean. Used to see large blocks. Now they're gone. Is this maybe a settings issue? Let me give you a little reminder. No market recap for today. Thursdays, we record the Limit Up podcast at 3 o'clock Central Time. So there will not be a market recap today. You're all more than welcome to join in on the podcast broadcast. We do that live on YouTube, so feel free to jump in. Echo on my voice, huh? Is that a little better? I'm having nothing but tech issues the last 2 days. Top of the book is visible, but no market depth. Okay. Yeah, call into our support team, and they'll have all the answers you need, I assume. Change in data policy. Yes, that's a thing also. All right, if that's it for questions, I did get a message from Mr. Hoagland yesterday. He might be back tomorrow for the forecast. Not positive yet, but there's a chance you'll see him tomorrow. He's taking his time coming back. The Tin Can Man. There's JD Royalty. Love the name. All right, everyone, I'm going to leave you to it. I'm going to get ready for the 8:30 open. I'm excited to jump in these markets too myself. So I hope you all have a great trading day. Take your deep breath, and I will catch you all later on. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Have a great day, everyone.